Hi, Bas. How are you?
Hi, Ashram. How are you?
I'm good.
Great. Yeah.
Perfect. So, Bas, you started Zana Motorcycles in 2017. Like, what made you start Zpro?
Okay. So the story behind Zana, I'll tell you first what happened. So it was the time of demonetization. And like you know, the entire country was busy in a way, settling down the cash or the old notes. At that point of time, like we all know, the labor, the staff, the factory, the team, everybody was busy managing that cash. And at that point of time, obviously the business also went down. So the current crop of products that we had at that time obviously had a break, which is when the idea suddenly occurred to me that we should somehow delve into a different direction and start accessories for this so-called upcoming bigger CC motorcycles. Earlier, Zana used to make smaller CC parts. For example, bikes of smaller CC capacity like Splendor, Shine, up to the Royal Enfield Classic. We used to make already similar products, handlebars, crash bars, luggage systems, everything. But then the Zana brand was conceived to take this a step up. And then further, as we got into the motorcycling world, which was still nascent at that time, we took our time, 4-5 years. We started riding super bikes, more than 650cc, which were launched at that time. That is when we thought that India imports all such accessories for the motorcycle market. And there is nobody who can do it for the Indian customer as per the Indian road conditions. Also, one big pain point at that time was, if I was supposed to buy a motorcycle in the superbike category, I had to order my accessories well in advance. Say 2 months, 3 months in advance. Choosing from a catalog and choosing what was available at the mother company somewhere abroad. That was a bit of a nuisance. That somebody has to wait for 2-3 months and still may not be able to get the desired loadings on their motorcycle. We already, being in the circle, came across these problems, especially for the superbikers, like I just said, 650cc plus. And by that time, we had also achieved a decent market in the 400cc, 450cc, 650cc Interceptor, all those motorcycles. And as I can say, it was a gradual step up. It was evident that we had to step up our game. So, like I said, before Zana was hitting the markets with their products, we used to work with steel and stainless steel. Just the grays were different. Predominantly for the Royal Enfield Classic. For Zpro, we talked to a different set of suppliers. We upgraded the material entirely. And we bought a lot many new automatic machines. Something that we perceived already will be needed for the Zpro customer. Which is why you see, that is when we launched the sidestand extender kind of a product. That was entirely based on a machine that could carve out metal from a solid block, and that is when we launched the products. For Zpro, for example, the customer does not want to compromise on the quality, the look, the aesthetics, for example. And at Zana, we are very picky about it too. So I could not have launched something for Zpro customers who had to compromise. And that is how we started building up. We started with the Trident frame sliders. The major problem at that time for the Trident customer was that the frame sliders were made of plastic, the OEM ones. And they were sitting very close to the tank. So a natural question in their heads was, will it really help us? Although obviously the OEM manufacturer would have thought about it, all such conditions. But then the whole point, what I could understand from their minds was that they were Indian road savvy and they wanted a product that would help them as per Indian road conditions. So that was the first product we conceived, designed and launched for Zpro, the frame sliders. So what we did basically, we gave you extra clearance on the braces from the engine, so that in case of an impact, even if the whole part had to collapse, it could still be far off from the main engine head. Secondly, what even the OEM did not do, there was 4 tubes on which this assembly was mounted. We made sure that setting up this equipment on those tubes did not scratch them whatsoever. So we made 4 housings, like collars, out of plastic, and we installed them just to make sure that the Indian customer does not have to scratch the main cube, which houses a part like this. And that is when we started developing more parts, radiator guards, XYZ, handlebar risers, and then we came down to the bigger motorcycles, like the Tigers, BMW Infinity GS, GSA, crash bars, some guards, frame sliders, for example, for the entire Ducati range, we developed pretty early. And I can say it is at least 4 or 5 years now that we have been selling them in the Indian market. Kawasaki, same story. So it is a massive recap of the story behind Zpro that I've given for our learned customers. This is how we started. And today, we have all these accessories in a very big range available for you guys to come, see, experience, touch, and handle. So like you know, we predominantly sell online.
Yeah.
All these products.
Yeah.
So we've been getting requests that we want to come down to your plant to get them installed.
Yeah.
We want to come down to the plant to get them installed again. And which in itself is quite a distance. So we are not centrally located plant-wise. We are based in Manesar. So we thought that eventually we should have a more central, big experience center for all bike owners to come down, sit with us, have a coffee, have a cold drink, while the bikes are being worked upon. So that is the entire story behind Zana, Zpro. And to delve on that further, we thought that eventually the market is going towards big adventure motorcycles.
Yeah.
For example, somebody who's bought a Himalayan will eventually upgrade, for example, to a Bear 650.
Yeah.
Logically. Or a Tiger 660, which is very easy to manage. But then the flavor of the motorcycle industry in India is 100% adventure driven. And we made all those parts, like I said. But for the past 2 years, we made sure that we launch luggage systems for all such motorcycles. So the quality should match the perception of a Zpro customer. But the price should be very comfortable for a Zana customer as well. So the point being that we don't want to keep a product that is way too premium in terms of cost, but delivers a quality that is not expected.
Yeah.
So what we did in the past 1.5 years, we've launched aluminium boxes first. Prices of made in India boxes are jaw-dropping economical. We start our range at 7,000, including the cushion backrest for an ABS box. And then the aluminium box that starts at 11,500 for the aluminium 45-liter section is again at a price where your GST is included at 28%. Your shipping charges are included. It is all included in the cost. It's free. We don't charge any extra GST on these things. And the quality, by God's grace, we've been able to give as such that has been highly respected and has given us a good motivation to give more. From there, we also thought that the next logical step is hard shell or semi-hard shell bags. Bags that look like boxes, but are lightweight and perform like obvious bags. Waterproof zippers, and the shell or the casing is designed in such a way that they are 99.99% water repellent, water resistant, without the rain cover. And for that 0.001, 100% peace of mind, we still have the waterproof rain cover on top. So what I'm trying to say here is, if it's a simple downpour, not a massive downpour, simple downpour is fine. Your bags will be good. But in case you encounter a very massive downpour, just add on the rain cover and forget the bag. So these things we've been doing for the past 5 to 7 years over the journey from Zana to Zpro, and from Zpro to Zana boxes, and Zana boxes to Zana bags. And we still have more new products to launch.